it seems that Goblins is back on the menu. Now, we've seen Goblin decks in the past. They're usually following a very similar formula. Play mono red, play a bunch of little dudes, turn them sideways, maybe add some removal into the deck, but mostly it follows that formula. Now, the new Goblin decks that have spawned up kind of follow that same formula, but that formula bores me. Like, just playing little dudes and turn them sideways is not the most interesting thing to me. So what have I done to spice up the formula? Well, I've added white. And white is fantastic for this deck for a very few key reasons. And I'll go over them real quick. First up, we have Lightning Helix. 1 white and 1 red to deal 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Fantastic. Also, we have Warleader's Call. It's an Anthem effect packaged with an Impact Tremors. So all of your little guys get +1 +1, and they deal 1 damage to the opponent's face for every 1 that comes into play. Also fantastic. We love that, especially for all of the little goblin spawning cards that we have in this deck. We have Searslicer Goblin, we have Howlsquad Heavy, we have Squee, we have Krenko. So many ways to just make more goblins out of thin air. So Warleader's Call absolutely gets a pass in this deck. And lastly, the card that really gives the spice to this deck is Delney. Delney Streetwise Lookout. For 3 mana, you get a 2/2 legendary creature human scout that reads, creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Fantastic. Most of my goblins have power 1 or 2 anyways, so this is a great little evasion ability packaged on Delney. But the second part is the real reason that she's in this deck. If an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Well, what abilities are going to trigger? Well, the Burnout Bashtronaut's fire breathing ability is going to trigger. Unfortunately, the Fanatical Firebrand ability will not trigger twice. I had to learn this one the hard way. I thought that you would be able to get 2 triggers off of this, but because you sacrifice the creature and it's no longer on the table, Delney doesn't see it to allow it to trigger a second time. So don't get too excited about that. However, we do have the Rundvelt Hordemaster that triggers twice. We have the Searslicer Goblin, creates 2 creatures instead of 1. We have the Howlsquad Heavy, creates 2 creatures instead of 1. Squee, 2 creatures instead of 1. Unfortunately, Krenko's already a little bit too big to trigger twice, but that's okay. Krenko, on average, creates like 4 or 5 goblins as is. I think we're okay with that. And Krenko's in this deck for a completely different reason anyways. One other thing we had to learn the hard way was the Draconautics Engineer. The exhaust abilities do not trigger twice. I thought that having Delney in the deck would allow you to trigger the exhaust abilities more than once. That is not true, because the effect reads that you can only do the ability once. That kind of supersedes Delney's doubling effect. So unfortunately, we cannot create 2 dragons for 4 mana. Sorry, we can't do that. However, Delney is great for all of the other effects, all of the other double spawning effects, the Rundvelt Hordemaster giving you extra goblins off the top of your library. Fantastic effects. Now, why is Krenko in this deck? Well, Krenko is in this deck specifically to trigger Warleader's Call to get a surprise finish. So with Krenko, let's say you got Krenko and you got like 4 of the goblins, that's 5 goblins total. You tap Krenko, make 5 additional goblins, Warleader's Call will then trigger 5 times. And if you also happen to have the Howlsquad Heavy on the table at the same time, surprise, all of those 2/2 goblins that just spawned into the table, that just dealt 5 damage to the opponent's face, are now having haste, which means they can attack this turn. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, there it is. That's the deck. Oh, let's go over the lands real quick. 2 plains, 5 mountains, 4 Battlefield Forge, 4 Inspiring Vantage, 2 Restless Bivouac, 4 Sunbillow Verge, and 2 Soulstone Quarry, or Sanctuary. So, there you go. That's the deck. So, we're going to take it out, play a few games with it, show you how the deck plays, and then I will see you back here after the games for the post-game wrap-up. Okay, so we got 4 lands, 3 creatures. Let's go. Turn 1, Firebrand. Hit for 1. Okay, looks like our opponent is playing Inspiring Vantage, so they are in red and white, just like we are. Alright, attack for 1. Alright. Second main, play Draconautics Engineer. Alright. Do you have a shock for it? Oh, they have a shock from me. Okay. Is this a burn deck? Alright, let's go Battlefield Forge. We'll play Squee Bob. Squee Bob comes in. We swing. Not on my watch. Still get the creature though. Not on my watch. Interesting. Exile target attacking creature. Okay. Well, it's definitely not a burn deck if that's the case. Invasion of Regatha. 4 damage to another target battle or opponent, and then 1 damage. Alright. Well, let's go here. Then we'll go Warleader's Call. And Fanatical Firebrand. Deal 1 to the opponent. Smack him, yak him. Put him to 6. Alright, they play a Mountain. Vanishing Light on what? Draconautics Engineer? Good choice. And shocking the Fanatical Firebrand. Alright. Let's play this Inspiring Vantage and play a Krenko. Then we attack for 2. Pop. Put them to 3. Alright, they have to deal with Krenko this turn, otherwise Krenko kills them next turn. Pyromancer's Goggles. What does that do? Add red when that mana is spent to cast an red instant or sorcery spell, copy that spell. Oh, yeah. That was not going to do it, for sure. Okay, so we get to go first. We have a Mountain and a Plains. We have 2 Burnouts, Fanatical Firebrand, Draconautics, and Searslicer. Pretty decent open. We'll take it. Alright, turn 1 is Mountain into Bashtronaut. Play a Swamp. Will they kill our creature? They will duress and find nothing. Few things feel as good as seeing a duress whiff. Let's play that Searslicer. Attack for 1. Searslicer will then make an extra boy for us. Ooh, they are Golgari. Nice. Mosswood Dread Knight comes in. Very cool. Inspiring Vantage. Let's play a Howlsquad Heavy. Okay. Attack, attack, attack. Just like that. Now you want to block and kill one of them. There you go. Block the token. Make another boy. Replacement boys. We love those. Alright, play a Swamp. Right now would be a great time to play something like Eclipse. But they probably don't run something like that if they're also running Mosswood Dread Knight. Deep Cavern Bat. Okay. What do you want to take? Probably the Fanatical Firebrand. The Firebrand can get rid of the Deep Cavern Bat. Well, I guess not. You want to attack? Yeah, I don't think so. Alright, play the Sunbillow Verge. Then we will play Fanatical Firebrand. Go with your Deep Cavern Bat. Get our Draconautics Engineer back. Play it. Then we will get our Bashtronaut, play that. Then we will attack with this, 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 and this. Here come the boys. Alright, block one. Take a bunch of damage. We are now at turn 4, or max speed. And I say, let's go ahead and tap. Make a dragon. End turn. I love that ability to just make a ton of mana because you have goblins. It's so cool. Oh, Searslicer's gone. GG. GG. Stoppable Slasher. Okay, that's cute. I also have a dragon, so that's pretty cool. Alright. Alright, attack, 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 attack. Concede. GG, friend. GG. Yeah, that got a little bananas. Okay, opponent gets to go first. We have 3 spells, 4 lands. Not the most explosive start, but we'll keep it and see what happens. Opponent opens with a Copperline Gorge. Alright, we're going to play the Mountain and open with the Fanatical Firebrand. Attack for 1. Opponent says no. Okay, opponent plays Copperline Gorge and passes the turn. Awkward. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play Burnout Bashtronaut. Alright. The engines have been started. Do they remove my creature? They sure do. Alright, turn 3 for the opponent. They drop a Forest. And play an Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Okay. Alright, well, let's play Soulstone Sanctuary. Play Warleader's Call. Mountain. Into Enduring Vitality. Interesting. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play this Plains. I'm going to Lightning Helix the Vitality. Just to get the creature off the board. Then we're going to play a Searslicer Goblin. One damage to the opponent. Oh, shocking my guy. Oh, they'll run out of removal sooner or later. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play Battlefield Forge. And then play Fanatical Firebrand. Comes in. Warleader's Call deals 1 to the opponent. And we will attack for 2. Hey, we got some damage in. Very nice. Resolve. Okay. End of turn, we're going to animate the Soulstone Sanctuary. It is now a creature. Alright, cool. We got a Hordemaster. Alright, 1 damage to the opponent. Soulstone Sanctuary becomes a 5/5 because it happens to be a goblin. Alright, now we're going to go to the attack phase. And we will attack with the Soulstone Sanctuary. They did not block. Go to 10. Alright, end of turn, play Battlefield Forge. End turn. What could you possibly be playing over there? Terror of the Peaks. That's a pretty good card. Alright, my turn. Cool. Let's play the Draconautics Engineer. Alright, deals 1. Now let's go ahead. I think we'll wait to use the exhaust ability. Let's go next. Next. Attack for 5. Alright, you're taking the damage. Alright, end turn. If he doesn't gain some life pretty soon, or find some way to remove the Warleader's call, then it might be curtains for them. Trumpeting Carnosaur, okay. Alright, Carnosaur comes in. Probably gonna nuke the Draconautics Engineer. Oh, no, they're going after Soulstone Sanctuary. Well, let's go ahead and tap it for mana. Just cuz. Alright. Resolve. We get another terror. Alright, well, let's activate that. Another 1 damage to the opponent. And then resolve. And then that resolves. Ooh, a Burnout Bashtronaut. That's another 1 damage. Oh, that's another Goblin. We may just have this. Because we have Fanatical Firebrand on board and 2 creatures to play next turn. And they're out of mana. So here we go. Battlefield Forge. Burnout. 1 damage to the opponent. Hordemaster. 1 damage to the opponent. Sacrifice. 1 damage to the opponent. GG. And more goblins. Rundvelt Hordemaster is pretty good. Okay, so our opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, a Draconautics Engineer, Rundvelt Hordemaster, Searslicer Goblin, and Squee. Looks decent, I'll keep it. Is that Mega Man? Oh no. Just looks like Mega Man. Are they thinking about their mulligan or something? What's going on here? Okay, he's doing something. He's highlighting his hand. Okay, he plays a Restless Ridgeline, so he is red-green. I will play Sunbillow Verge. We'll play Mountain next turn. Inti, huh? Okay. Alright, let's go play this Mountain. And then I will play a Searslicer Goblin. And pass the turn. Okay, so can it? Oh, Paw Patch. Not good for me. Okay, he's going to discard a card to give a +1 counter for Inti. I will not block. Okay, my turn. Let's go for the Battlefield Forge. And then we will go with... do we do Squee? We do the Hordemaster. That's a tough one. Yeah, let's go Squee Bob. Swing in. Okay. Blocks 1. Make a dude. I like Inti. I have not seen Inti in quite a while. Afterburner Expert. Alright. It's a cool card. Discard. +1 counter on Inti. Draw a card. I will not block because that's trample. Alright. Let's see here. Soulstone Quarry or Sunbillow. We'll play the Sunbillow. And then we will play 2 Rundvelts. And we're gonna swing. Alright, we get 2 Rundvelt triggers. Ah, Burnout Bashtronaut. We can play that next turn. Questing Druid, very cool. I'm tempted to play that that Raise the Past next turn and just swing out. But we'll see what they do though. Judge's Insight, what does that do? Whenever one or more artifacts and or creature cards leave your graveyard, you gain 1 life. When this enchantment enters mill 4 cards, you may put an artifact, creature, or land card from among the mill cards into your hand. Okay. Discard another card. Yep. Alright. +1. I will not block. It's just silly. Alright, plays land. Okay, let's go and play this Plains. We'll play the Bashtronaut. And then I'm gonna play Raise the Past. Get that back. And we'll swing. Put him to 5. Make a Goblin. Now we've got enough blockers to deal with ENT if we need to. Pressing Druid comes in. Okay. Draconautics Engineer. Hey, you too, huh? Cool. Oh. Alright. Discards that last card. Alright, go to 6. Alright, well, in that case, let's go ahead and block this here. And that's attacking 2, so this will block here. I'll take that 6. And now we'll just win the game. Are you going to concede or let me attack? Or, third option, you can rope now. I think they're roping. Oh, no, they're playing to land. Okay, that's cool. What's in my graveyard here? Just Squee. Aw, shucks. Okay, so we get to go first. We have 2 lands. Delney, Rundvelt, Dropkick Bomber, Howlsquad Heavy, and Warleader's Call. I'll keep it. Alright. Turn 1 is going to be the Sunbillow Verge. No turn 1 plays, unfortunately. Opponent's first turn is a Swamp. I'll play Mountain. And then we will play a Rundvelt Hordemaster. Okay, opponent plays a Swamp. Shoot. Sure, whatever. Alright, let's go Soulstone. I'm going to play Warleader's Call this turn, and we're just going to come out next turn with a bunch of creatures. Play a Swamp. Unstoppable Slasher. Alright, let's play Bashtronaut. And Rundvelt. Okay. Ah, a Tithing Blade. Cute. Alright, well, sacrifice the Burnout. Ah, a Searslicer. That's pretty nice. No blocks. Alright, my turn. Let's see here. Let's go with this Searslicer Goblin. Comes in, hit him for 2. Attack with the Rundvelt. Searslicer makes a guy. Hit him for 1 again. Unholy Annex. Okay. So they're gonna start drawing some cards here. Let's kill it with the Goblin. Goblin dies. Rundvelt gives me a fresh Goblin to play. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna go Vantage. I'm gonna play Delney. We're gonna attack. Put him to 7. Searslicer triggers. We get another guy. Alright, opponent's at 6 health. Can they possibly clear the board this turn? Got a Sheldred. That's pretty good. Alright, my turn. We draw a card. Resolve. Okay. We're going to do you want Howlsquad or do we want Dropkick? I guess it doesn't matter. The game's over. GG. Okay, and we are back with the post-game wrap-up, and my thoughts are pretty simple. This deck rocks. I am so happy with this deck. I was a little shaky when putting this deck together, but after playing a few games and seeing how it really plays, I'm so happy with this deck. This deck is so much fun. And I don't typically play red a whole lot, but this deck is really making me reconsider. This deck is quickly becoming a daily driver for me. Like, if I want to get like a couple wins or like a quest done or something like that, I will very likely boot this deck up because the games are so fast. They are really so fast. As far as MVPs and cards that aren't doing as well, I would say the MVPs are probably Burnout Bashtronaut into Searslicer Goblin, simply because the Burnout Bashtronaut has Menace, which is going to give you a pretty safe attacker on turn 2 to allow Searslicer Goblin to trigger its raid effect on the second main phase. Aside from that, Rundvelt Hordemaster is a surprisingly good Goblin Lord. The giving +1/+1 to all the goblins is great, but getting the card advantage of impulse drawing when your goblins die is so good. Draconautics Engineer, fantastic card, especially if you hold on to the first exhaust ability until you play something like Krenko, to then give Krenko haste and allow it to tap out for a bunch of goblins immediately. Really strong effect. And making a dragon is pretty dope too. I mean, I like that a lot. Let's see, aside from that, Delney, obviously MVP of the deck. I don't think I would be playing this deck if not for Delney's double triggers ability. Dropkick Bomber has honestly in most cases just been Rundvelt 5 and 6 in this deck. I think I might end up dropping the Dropkick Bomber for a couple extra copies of Howlsquad Heavy, because the Howlsquad Heavy is just, it's so good. It's like, you really want to be playing this on curve as often as possible. So I might drop either the Dropkick Bomber or the Squee for extra copies of Howlsquad, or honestly, I'll probably drop the Dropkick for 1 extra Howlsquad and 1 extra Squee, just because the deck really hinges on you spawning extra goblins as often as possible, and maximizing that effect is going to lead to more wins than losses. So you got Searslicer, you got the Howlsquad, you got the Squee, you got Krenko at the top end. It's a pretty sweet build, and I'm really happy with it. So I will be continuing to play this, absolutely. So yeah, there you go. And that's the deck. Go ahead and take it out for a spin yourself. Iterate on it further if you'd like. And let me know how you did with it. I will leave a link to the deck list in the description box down below so you can try it out for yourself. And until next time, you take care of yourselves.